I want to talk about something that's been on my mind. It pertains to the lawn care industry, but it also pertains to life as well. Mentors, coaches, all this good stuff. And I'll make a dedicated video for this and possibly a podcast episode for this. And I'll make a podcast that I've been wanting to make for a long time. I want to talk about this because a lot of guys have a perception that anybody that pays for coaching, that pays for even courses, even just not even paying for it, but getting around guys where they want to be, that they're like a sucker, as someone's said it in the past. Well, number one is you don't know what you don't know. I mean, that's, a given. Everybody kind of knows that. You don't know what you don't know. Now, how do you get to figure out what you don't know and get what you need and get where you want to be in life and in business and in other things? Well, there's a couple things you can do. Well, number one way is you can take the long way, in my opinion, and figure it out as you go, as things come, or as you try to advance the needle, if you are mentally capable of doing that. If you're mentally capable of not settling down and getting comfortable at a certain point in your business. Number two way is you can seek advice from guys that are actually where you want to be, whether that's they're making YouTube videos for free, or whether you can get them on a call for a set amount of money, or you maybe can meet up with them at a location if they're in your local area. You can get them on the phone, call their company, and be like, hey, do you mind if I shadow you for a week and I want to see your operations. I'm in this zip code, you're in that zip code. Now, you get a lot of people that are just like, they will not talk to competition and they will not network and all this stuff. And you've heard your net worth is your net worth. This is where this comes into play. My opinion on paying for courses, coaching, all this stuff. Well, number one, you want to make sure that this person is actually doing what you want to do and it is where you want to get to. Because a guy making $300,000 a year doesn't know what a guy making $1 million a year knows. You see what I'm saying here? I want to give you a concept, and not really a concept, it's just facts. This is how it is. In the NBA and in sports, you have coaching. You have coaches that take talent, solo talent, that can get themselves to a certain point. But you have coaches that maybe are retired NBA players that can coach them to a certain level. When I played basketball in high school, we went and went to a summer camp with a UK basketball player that won championships for UK, right? Okay. The things I learned at that camp, I would not have been able to figure out or learn on my own. By the time I would have learned that, I would have been out of high school. You see what I'm saying? You're shortcutting the learning curve. And it's like a normal thing. Like this, like getting coaching, and there's a reason business coaches exist. I'll say this. Anybody that starts a business, especially like a service-based business, as long as you do not quit, by default, you will hit $100,000 in the first 3 years. If you're not just out here, being like, yeah, I'll do everything for $20. Obviously, they're not going to be able to do that. But if you're actually out here giving a decent price point, as long as you don't give up your first 3 years, it is almost impossible to hit between 80 to 100K. It is almost impossible. By default, if you do not give up and you push through the hurdles, by year 3, you should hit 100K. To shortcut being able to do a certain thing, let's use the basketball analogy, or baseball, you can seek advice and coaching from somebody that is either 2 steps ahead of you, 5 steps ahead of you, or they're at the top of the mountain, which is why I say, and what I recommend, if you want coaching, and you're seeking to cut the time that it takes to learn, then you need to seek out somebody, preferably in your area, that is 2 steps ahead of where you want to be. You need to, like in my area, there's a company. They have a great culture. It's a lawn care company, fertilization company, all that good stuff. I can call up and be like, hey man, so here's where I'm at. I know you guys are killing it, all this stuff. Would you have time to meet up at a coffee shop, or can I pay you for some of your time? I'm stuck here. I'm seeking some advice. You know, I want to get to where you are in my area. Do you have time to get on the calendar? And, you know, you either get told to F off, which if they're in business and they're at any sort of meaningful level, like 500K plus, more than likely they want to help the industry and they want to help you out. That's who you want to seek advice from. The great thing about the internet is it makes it easily accessible to people, either free or paid, to seek advice of where they are. You know what I mean? If I want to get to let's say after 3 seasons, and you guys will watch along the way, let's say I hit 300K. Let's just say this is not, I'm not saying that 100% I know that I will hit that. I'm saying that is going to be the goal. I want to do 300K this Christmas and this holiday season. So we'll see how that goes. Let's say year 3, I'm doing 300. Use your imagination here, okay? Use your imagination. Don't be like, you're not there. You're not there. Use your imagination. In year 3, let's say I'm at 300K. Well, let's say my next goal is to get to 500K or 600K, whatever. Let's say my goal is to double it from year 3 to year 5. Let's give myself 2 years, whatever. A year, 2 years, whatever. I would seek out advice from either someone in the area here that I know is crushing it, or that I meet that's crushing it, or I would go to somebody like that. I think this is where I think that John at Florida Turf Pros is. I think he's in between 350 to 650K. That's where I think he's at. He may be more than that. I don't think he's ever actually come out and said it. That's where I think he's at. So I would turn to, if I couldn't find somebody in my area, well, the beautiful thing about online and YouTube and the internet is I'm able to find somebody. Defer that he is doing in between that amount of money just by him having multiple crews. He's still in the field, but he wants to be in the field. Nobody's saying you have to get out of the field ever. I would seek his one-on-one advice specifically for my situation and what I want to do with my business. You see, you're not a sucker. Just go on and just crumble that up and throw that in the trash. You're not a sucker. You're not, as long as you're not giving money to a grifter, as they're called. This is what they're actually called. Guys that make courses and sell coaching that aren't actually doing the things that they're doing. Those are called grifters. That's the, what do you call that? The millennial term for guys that sell stuff that they're not actually doing. They're known as grifters, okay? As long as you're not paying a grifter like Ty Lopez or that Elliott guy that is pushing the nose thing and the creatine junk, the car salesman guy. Who else is on the internet? Grant Cardone is skirting the grifter line, the grifter bar, in my opinion. Who else? Alex Hormozy is very, he has to watch it because he is like teetering grifter level, okay? This is where I'm at with all the big time course and coaching sales guys and all that bullcrap. Big time grifters, you see. But you also have to watch the other niches like lawn care and stuff. You need to actually be able to look at what they're doing if you're going with the online direction for coaching and stuff, because a lot of people have thrown money in my face. And I'm like, dude, I can teach you some stuff, but I'm not going to take your money, you see, because I'm not where I want to be in this lawn care space yet, you see. Why would I seek advice from someone that has only ever had one employee or one helper? You see what I'm saying? Because they're not at the level that I want to be at. I would want to seek the advice of somebody that I can see clearly and kind of tell where they're at in business. That's, like I said, 2 to 3 steps ahead of where I am. And I want to shortcut, and you can say there's no shortcuts. There's shortcuts, you just have never done this before. I want to shortcut the learning curve because I don't know what I don't know, and I don't want to take the years that it takes to trial and error my way there. I want to capitalize on someone else's mistakes and learnings that took years and apply that to me. There's nothing wrong with paying for coaching. There's business coaches for a reason. Why do you think you pay an accountant to go over numbers? Yeah, it's not coaching you to freaking run a mower. I'm not saying pay for coaching to learn how to lay a stripe down on a yard. You can trial and error that and learn how to do that in less than 3 weeks. Okay, it's not that freaking difficult. I'm talking about the business side. When I hit 300K, I'm going to seek somebody like John, if he does one-on-one stuff, and ask him, hey man, how did you get past, this is what I'm dealing with, this is the struggles I'm dealing with, I can't find, any free resources or whatever. How did you get from A to B? And then he's going to give me a little roadmap of things that he's like, yeah, and I'm not saying that he said this or that he will say this. He'll be like, yeah, man, I experienced that. Here's what I did. Look at that. You just eliminated months, years of trial and error trying to figure out that said problem. That's how that works. And then your company grows to the level of the person you're getting advice from. You see? That's how it works. There's a reason there's basketball coaches, baseball coaches, football coaches at the younger levels, all the way up to the pro leagues. Yes, they still have advisors and coaches, health advisors. They have all these things. It's no different from business. I would love to get on a call with someone like the Lawn Care Millionaire guy. Once I'm wanting to get to those millions and millions of dollars level, like 10 million or whatever. I think he's at 100 million in total assets with Service Autopilot and his lawn care business and all that stuff, and his pest control stuff. Maybe one day I can have a podcast and all that stuff and big enough that I can interview guys like that, you see. But right now, what I'm doing and what I'm focusing on is growing to the capacity that I feel I can get to without seeking others' advice, which is that 250K mark with one truck and two guys. It's not hard. It is not hard to hit 100K. As long as you're consistent and you don't underprice your work and you don't give up, it is impossible not to hit 100K in gross revenue within your first 3 years of a service-based business. It is impossible as long as your ticket, as long as you have a high enough ticket, which for a single lawn care customer, the lifetime value, the yearly lifetime value is going to be in between $1,400 to $1,800 just with lawn maintenance. Once you run the numbers, for me in my area, it's like 8 months, maybe 10. My lifetime value of a customer that sticks with me throughout the whole season is in between $1,400 to $1,800 total. Okay, that's one customer, and you just work back the math of, well, how many lawn maintenance customers do I need to reach 100K? It's not hard to do, guys. It's not difficult. I know 100K seems like crazy. Once you get to 300, 200, whatever, once you get there, it's like, well, that's not hard to achieve. Consistency and not quitting, that's all it is, right? And then you get better with quality of work over time. That's all it is. And people don't want to be like, well, it's not that simple. Well, it is that simple. It is that simple. Now, what gets difficult is when you want to grow past that point where it takes more of the business side and less of the actual, let me go out here, let me strap up my boots and do the work side, you see. Once you get to that point of, let me work on the business, let me hire somebody, let me tackle that. Who's good at hiring? Let me get on a call with them. Let me see how they solve this. Let me see what they do. This one guy, he runs Facebook ads all year long hiring people. It's not to get business. He literally pays $300 a month just to get applicants, so he has a spreadsheet full of applicants he can pull at any time. Circling back and tying this in before I get home here, you pay for stuff to get to a certain point. You don't just go out here and be like, I'm going to pay for this course, it's going to make me a multimillionaire. No, you seek the right advice. You seek the advice of people who, where they are is where you want to be. That's when you start forking over money. They can actually fix your problems by you being able to defer that they are at that level. And it's so easy to smell BS, guys. It is so easy to smell if somebody knows what they're talking about or not. It's just so easy. But some people are easily persuaded, unfortunately, because, look at the Ty Lopez guy. They'll buy anything that he puts out into the world. Obvious scammer, obvious course grifter.